What does it take to become a football legend? Is it all about hard work, determination and sheer talent, or can fate have a say in the matter? For some players, it seems as if the world is at their feet, but for others, everything can come crashing down in an instant. Today, we're diving into one of football's most tragic yet captivating stories: the rise, fall and redemption of Breno Rodrigues Borges, better known simply as Breno. Once hailed as Brazil's next big defensive talent, Breno's story is one of the most heartbreaking in modern football. A player once linked with some of Europe's biggest clubs, on track to become a football superstar, Breno's journey took an unexpected and shocking turn. But what happened? How did this Wonderkid's career go from skyrocketing to crashing down in flames? Before we get into it, hit that like button if you're ready for a roller coaster of a football story. Trust me, you won't want to miss this one. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on notifications because we've got more insane football stories coming your way. Let's rewind to the beginning. Breno was born in 1990 in Brazil, and from an early age, it was clear he had something special. At just 17 years old, he made his debut for São Paulo FC, a club with a rich history, and soon after, he became a key figure in their defence. His first season, a title-winning one. São Paulo won the Brazilian Serie A in 2007, and Breno played an essential role in their success. Not only was Breno awarded Serie A's Best Newcomer award, but he was also a Brazil Under-20 international and even captained the Olympic team. At just 17, Breno was a star on the rise, and with his towering presence, speed and composure on the ball, it seemed like he was destined for greatness. Fast forward to 2007 and Bayern Munich came knocking. €12.3 million to bring Breno to the Bundesliga. A massive sum for such a young player. But Bayern saw what others did. This kid was going to be a game changer. Breno's move to Bayern was huge. Bayern Munich, one of the most prestigious clubs in Europe, didn't just sign any defender. They were signing a future star, a player who could lead their defence for years. He made his Bundesliga debut, played in the Champions League, and even represented Brazil at the 2008 Beijing Olympics, securing a bronze medal. But as you know, things in football aren't always as easy as they seem. Despite the promise, Breno began to struggle. Homesickness, language barriers, limited playing time. It wasn't the smooth ride that anyone had expected. Let me know in the comments if you think the pressure on young talents today is too much. Do clubs push them too hard, too soon? By 2010, things had started to go wrong for Breno. He was sent out on loan to Nuremberg in what seemed like a fresh start, a chance for him to find his feet. But things got worse. In what should have been a turning point, Breno suffered a devastating cruciate ligament injury, one that would sideline him for months. Then injuries started to pile up, and then so did the pressure. But here's where things really take a dark turn. The next chapter in Breno's story is a stark reminder of how quickly everything can spiral out of control. In September 2011, Breno faced a third knee surgery which left him devastated. He began to lose hope, spiraling into a deep depression. Unable to cope, he turned to alcohol, and that's when the unimaginable happened. Imagine the shock when just days later, Breno was arrested for arson. His rented home in Munich had been set on fire, and the authorities found Breno drunk with lighters in his hand. The fire wasn't an accident, and Breno was charged with aggravated arson. Let that sink in for a second. A young footballer who was once seen as Brazil's next big star had gone from being linked with Real Madrid and Chelsea to being arrested for setting fire to his own home. This story was no longer one of promise, it was one of tragedy. On the 4th of July 2012, Breno was formally sentenced to 3 years and 9 months in prison for burning down his German villa. After serving his prison sentence, the German court announced that Breno would be deported to Brazil. This decision sparked a wave of reactions. Prominent figures in football like Giovanni Elber and Uli Hoeneß voiced their support for Breno, criticising the severity of his punishment. However, not everyone agreed. FC Nuremberg's director of football, Martin Bader, and Eintracht Frankfurt's executive chairman, Herbert Bruckhagen, pushed back against Hoeneß's comments, calling them out. In January 2013, Breno attempted to appeal his sentence, with his legal team arguing that he had been under the influence of potentially dangerous medication that may have influenced his actions, but the German Federal Court of Justice rejected the appeal, ruling that his situation didn't meet the criteria for a formal error of law. But here's where Breno's story takes an unexpected twist. While in prison, something amazing happened. São Paulo, the club that had helped shape him, decided to give him a chance to rebuild his life. In 2013, they offered Breno a contract, welcoming him back into the fold. This wasn't just a football move, it was a complete lifeline for Breno. And there's more. Bayern Munich, despite everything, offered Breno a job as an assistant coach for their under-23 team. Now let me tell you, this was a huge act of fate. Bayern didn't have to do this, but they did. They allowed him to work with the young players, giving him a second chance at life. Literally. Breno worked 5 hours a day coaching young talent, and he was allowed to leave prison for those hours. See, at this point, the Brazilian was given day release. This is a program that allows inmates to leave the prison facility during the day for specific purposes such as work, education, or reintegration activities before returning to the prison in the evening. It's often part of a rehabilitation process designed to help prisoners transition back into society while still serving their sentence. For inmates, day release can be an opportunity to reconnect with family, prepare for life after prison, and prove their ability to follow rules outside a controlled environment. However, this isn't automatically granted. Prison authorities typically assess each case carefully to determine if the prisoner is ready for this level of trust, and in this case, Breno was given the trust. So it was absolutely huge from Bayern Munich to give Breno this chance. Would you have expected Bayern to offer him that kind of opportunity? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Once out of prison, Breno returned to Brazil, rejoining São Paulo. His second debut for the club came in an emotional 1-1 draw against Corinthians. The fans, his teammates, everyone knew how much this moment meant to him. It was a symbol of rebirth, a chance to leave his dark past behind. But despite the warm reception and the support of his old club, things weren't easy for Breno. His body had taken a toll from all of the injuries, and he couldn't recapture his former form. After a brief second spell at São Paulo, he was loaned out to Vasco da Gama. Unfortunately, injuries continued to hamper him, and he eventually retired from football in 2019. But here's the thing, Breno's story didn't end with his retirement. His journey is a reminder of just how quickly life can change, and how important it is to support players, especially when they're at their lowest. Breno's rise and fall show us how fleeting success can be in football. One moment you're on top of the world, and the next, everything you've worked for has come crashing down. His story is also a stark reminder of how essential mental health is, both for players and for all of us. Breno didn't just lose his career, he lost himself for a while. But thanks to the support of São Paulo, Bayern Munich and his family, he found his way back. Now, Breno is living a quieter life away from the spotlight. He's a family man with his wife, Renata, and their 4 kids, living mostly out of the public eye. It's been a long, difficult journey, but it's one of redemption. And there you have it, Breno's career, full of promise and potential, interrupted by tragedy, but ultimately ending on a note of hope. His story serves as a reminder that no one is immune to failure and setbacks, but it's how we rise after those moments that truly define us. If you were inspired by Breno's journey, make sure to like this video and share it with your friends. What do you think about his story? Do you think the support systems in football are enough for young players? Is there more that football clubs can do to prevent stories like Breno's from even happening in the first place? Let us know in the comments and let's get this conversation going. And once again, don't forget to subscribe for more incredible football stories and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.